Coming up on News Live at 6, International Student Career Week begins. We'll tell you all about this week's events.
Plus, how Cornell is responding to online anti-Semitic threats, what the governor is doing, and the university's reply.
And high turnouts during early voting, why so many people are heading to the polls early. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
It's International Student Career Week, and events are happening all around campus. Welcome to News Live at 6. I'm Maddie Stelk.
And I'm Peyton Spellacy. Our CitrusTV reporter Tyler Oldano joins us live from outside of Shine Student Center. Tyler, what can we expect from this week?
Thank you so much, Peyton. I'm in front of Shine Student Center right now, and there's going to be a lot of events happening throughout the campus today. But in Shine Student Center this morning, there was a first event, the student etiquette lunch that happened. It basically was to teach students the proper etiquette to have when conducting a business meeting at the dinner table. Things like passing the rolls, the salt, making sure you're getting enough water and hydrating, all those wonderful things that students would like to learn. We actually had one student who talked to us saying that he's very glad that he learned all those things with us today.
I come from a different part of the world. As an international student, it was really important to know what are the correct or the standard rules or socially acceptable norms while dining.
That's not all that's going to be offered today at this week, at the Syracuse University International Students Career Week. There's going to be a LinkedIn profile optimization tomorrow at 4 to 5 p.m. and LinkedIn for International Students on Wednesday from 4 to 5, as well as mock interviews that are happening this Friday from 4 to 5. But beyond that, the event is basically just here to help make sure that students make sure they're prepared for the best that they can when they leave the university. If you want to sign up, that you have to do so through the university website, as spaces are limited. Peyton, Maddie, back to you.
Thank you. And SU's Community Review Board is holding an open forum to reveal new campus safety policies. The forum next month invites an open conversation between DPS and community members. The board has 2 new co-chairs working to improve student life at SU. Mary Kiernan and Jordan Beasley will both serve for the rest of the academic year.
And yesterday, a public statement threatening the Jewish community was posted on a discussion forum at Cornell University. Our CitrusTV reporter Anjana Desam has more updates. Anjana, what has the university been doing to support their students?
Yeah, well, the anti-Semitic threat was directed towards a building at Cornell that houses a kosher and multicultural dining hall. So administration at the university is making sure that there's more security near the building to ensure the safety of students and staff. Last night, the president of Cornell, Martha Polak, released a statement to the Cornell campus community. She wrote, quote, "This incident highlights the need to combat the forces that are dividing us and driving us towards hate. This cannot be what defines us at Cornell." Governor Kathy Hochul visited Cornell University to give an announcement in regards to this threat. She says that the state police have increased security as well as want students to not be afraid when walking on campus. She states that the police and FBI are helping to investigate and find the person responsible for creating this threat and to have them prosecuted.
We will not tolerate threats or hatred or anti-Semitism or any kind of hatred that makes people feel vulnerable and exposes people and makes them feel insecure in a place that they should be enjoying their campus life without fear.
CitrusTV will have more updates as the investigation continues.
Anjana, thank you. And while the weather has finally changed.
I know.
Out here.
It blows my mind too. I mean, like over the weekend, it was so warm outside. It was great, you know, especially at night, it was super warm. And now I feel like we've just been hit with rain. Rainy Monday again.
Yes, but it feels like a classic fall, Syracuse fall. And here to tell us more if that rain is going to stick around is our weather anchor, Lauren Holdmeyer.
Hey Peyton, well, as you were saying, it has been an extremely rainy Monday here in Syracuse today. Right now we're seeing temperatures around 44 degrees, so those temperatures are cooling down quite a bit. We were seeing mid to upper 70s over the weekend, and that is definitely on its way out. 44 right now, feels like temperature is about 40, so not too much lower than the actual temperature. And then taking a look at our temperatures around the area, we're seeing a little bit cooler down in Cortland at 41, Ithaca at 43, and Binghamton at 42. Just a little bit warmer up in Fulton is seeing 45, and then similar temperatures in Rome at 44. But for the most part, it's cold all around the region, those low to mid 40s. You're definitely going to need a jacket anywhere you are tonight. And then looking ahead to tonight, we are going to get down to about 42. Not too much of a change, but after midnight, we will be seeing those 30-degree temperatures. So that's all I have for right now. Peyton and Maddie.
Lauren, thank you. And while Election Day is just 8 days away now, that's not stopping some locals from sending their ballots in early. Citrus TV's Nuke Luttrell tells us why more and more Central New Yorkers are voting so early.
As Election Day quickly approaches, more Central New Yorkers are getting in their ballots early. The County Elections Commissioner, Dustin Zarni, says they've seen a rise in early votes this year.
We had about 2,655 voters vote over the weekend for early voting. When comparing to local years, 2019 and 2021, that's up about 60% for the first weekend of those 2 years, so that's pretty good.
As to the reason why more voters are getting out and voting early, Zarni says it's something his department is pushing.
We've done a lot of push on making sure that people know that this is a valuable option, that it works, and that it's secure.
That's the reason for the County Election Commissioner. But why are locals showing up so early?
Being a grandma, I have some grandchildren down in North Carolina and need to go down and help them out for a week, so I will be gone on Election Day.
I'm here voting early to get it out of the way, and so if other things come up during the week, it's all done.
Heading out to Florida for a few days, so I'll miss the vote.
No matter the reason, they all agree getting their vote in is important. And while it might seem like a small election season, Zarni says there's still some races that voters are keeping their eye on.
Well, I think the big races are the countywide races.
Those races are headlined by the county executive spot between Republican incumbent Ryan McMahon against his opposer, Democrat Bill Kinney. But no matter who is running for these spots, the county's board election office is preparing for any situation that may arise.
We usually see low participation in these local years, but we'll be ready for more.
Nick Luttrell, Citrus TV.
Nick, thank you for your coverage this evening. The Baldwinsville School District is offering free instruments to children in grades 3 through 5. Students who play an instrument in band or orchestra can take one at no cost and use it for as long as they participate. A band director at a regional elementary school says there has been a surge in interest by nearly 75%. The program's $1.1 million cost is covered by an increase in state aid.
And the state's transportation department will hold an open house discussing the construction on I-81. The event will be held at Syracuse Clary Middle School next month. The department expects the project to improve high-speed traffic on exits on I-481. A third contract is planned to be awarded by the end of the year to rework the highway near Destiny USA and the Inner Harbor.
President Biden plans to make Syracuse into a global hub for computer chips. $10 billion has been designated to federally fund the semiconductor industry within upstate New York. Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo will compete to be named the regional tech hub of New York. Here's what Biden plans for the area.
Hub in upstate New York is going to support a workforce training program for New York's semiconductor industry, which, by the way, has seen tens of billions of dollars in new investment because of the CHIPS and Science Act. This hub will have a particular focus on training people from communities historically left behind, like women, people of color, to work in the semiconductor industry.
Syracuse University is expected to play a key role in the industry's development. Chancellor Kent Severud says the university will collaborate closely with elected officials and semiconductor partners. The university will also work with other colleges across the region to create opportunities for students interested in the semiconductor industry.
A probation officer in Cayuga County has been charged with official misconduct after exploiting probationers. Police say the officer took advantage of the probationers for money, free labor, and photos. One of the victims said she was afraid to come forward about the exploitation in fear of consequences from the officer. And coming up on News Live at 6, updates on the shooting in Lewiston, Maine, how residents and officials are responding.
Plus, UAW workers may be getting back to work. The details for their potential agreement ahead.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones. And hey, I look good with this ones. But no way he's grown that in a week ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. That one. The itchy ones. The never forgotten ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The started late ones. The absolutely filthy ones. The drawn-on ones, the finger ones, the pin ones. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Peyton Spellacy, Nicole Aponte, and Lauren Holdmeyer. Now, your campus news leader continues.
The man suspected of killing 18 people in Maine has been found dead. The discovery of 40-year-old Robert Card on Friday ended a 2-day manhunt and shelter in place. Our Erica Love joins us to break down how the community is feeling right now.
Good evening, Erica.
Good evening.
Erica, what are the current local laws in Maine around gun safety and possession right now?
So Maine has this law called the Yellow Flag Law. It's essentially anybody who has access to a firearm is subject to welfare checks. They also are subject to possibly being looked at by a medical professional and also being restricted from those firearms by a judge. So this law was put in place to protect residents, but there's also a background check process involved with buying firearms in the first place. And as we know now, the shooter didn't initially pass those background checks, but then was later approved. And the FBI stated that there was no reason for him not to have access to the firearms, even though he checked that he did have a mental illness.
Now, Erica, speaking of those background checks, investigations show that the government passed all preliminary mental health checks. So why is his mental health being questioned now?
It was because the shooter put on the form that he was checked into a mental health institute while he was in the National Guard, and that he checked that he suffered from mental illness. But the state of Maine proved that his background check was enough. He was fine to get the firearms in the first place, and the FBI doesn't quite have an explanation for why in the first place they got it.
And Maine Congressman Jared Golden reversed his stance on assault weapon restrictions immediately after the shooting. What are other local politicians from Maine saying right now?
Well, like you said, Jared Golden reversed his position. That was because he was very pro-gun. He didn't want any restrictions. But now, after this massacre, he's now saying that he's taking full responsibility, that there needs to be harder laws. But you have local senators like Susan Collins and Angus King coming in and saying things like, well, there doesn't need to be restrictions, but we can find out different ways to get around background checks. Collins recommended expanding background checks, asking more questions, doing better welfare checks. And then you have King coming in saying that we don't need to ban weapons, but we can ban how many bullets can go in the weapon. He's saying that you can help in small ways without limiting people's First Amendment rights.
Sure. Now, Erica, we've seen images coming out of Lewiston this weekend. What is the latest on how the town is processing this tragedy?
Well, it's really hard to tell because you want to be respectful to the residents who are suffering from this horrible tragedy. But most of the situation is them attending vigils. A lot of the churches are filled with families, but the people that are suffering the most are those workers like at funeral homes who aren't able to process their grief, but are required to help these families bury their loved ones.
Erica, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
United Auto Workers have reached a tentative agreement with General Motors. The deal could potentially end the 6-week work strike. The agreed contract would last over 4 years. It is expected to raise general wages for top assembly plant workers and factor in workers' cost of living.
General Motors lost $200 million this week alone due to the strike. This comes after UAW workers also reached agreements with Ford and Jeep maker Stellantis. Agreements still need to be ratified by nearly 150,000 members.
Israeli troops have pushed further into northern Gaza Strip despite calls for ceasefire. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke earlier today saying it's time to, quote, decide if we are willing to fight for a future of hope and promise or surrender to tyranny and terror.
UN medical staff is expressing concerns over the airstrikes getting closer to hospitals where many Palestinians are taking shelter. According to the health ministry in Gaza, the Palestinian death toll has reached more than 8,000. In Israel, more than 1,400 have been killed and 240 hostages have been taken by Hamas.
And coming up after the break, I'll help you get prepared for Halloween tomorrow. Stick with us.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast for this week. Tomorrow is Halloween and our temperatures are going to be very cold. 46 as our high for tomorrow, then getting down to 34 later at night. We are going to possibly see some PM rain and snow mix tomorrow, and that will continue into Wednesday. Rain and snow mix all day on Wednesday, high of just 43 and a low of 32 on Wednesday. However, Thursday through Saturday, that sun is going to come back up, and we're going to be seeing 50s on Friday and Saturday, so that is something to look forward to. Now let's take a look at your forecast for tomorrow night. As everybody knows, it is Halloween. Tomorrow night, as you are out and about, we're going to start in the low 40s at 43. 9 p.m. we'll see about 39 degrees, and then at midnight 37. So definitely make sure to take that jacket with you. Maybe throw it over or under your costume as you're going out to celebrate Halloween tomorrow night. It is going to be a chilly one, and as I mentioned, we might see the possibility of some snow, and that is going to start tonight. Tonight's low is 35 degrees, and we are going to be seeing rain all through the rest of tonight. That might transition into some snow early in the morning after 4 a.m. Then tomorrow, the low is 34, and that rain is going to continue all throughout the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, and then tomorrow night after 10 is when we will start to see that possibility of snow. Peyton and Maddie.
Lauren, thank you. Not looking forward to that snow, but I guess it's unavoidable. We got to just go with it. But the Food and Drug Administration is warning Americans not to use 26 different eye drop products. The products range across 6 brands on your screen now.
Officials urged retailers to pull the products from shelves on Friday. They say investigators found unsanitary conditions and got positive bacterial test results. The FDA says the eye drops could lead to increased chance of eye infections and vision loss.
From the shelves to your driveways, Toyota is recalling more than 750,000 SUVs. Highlander models from 2020 to 23 have an issue with their front bumpers.
The tabs that hold onto the lower bumper covers onto the car may become loose easily. Even minor impacts can cause parts to fall off and become road hazards. The Japanese automaker will be contacting owners until the end of the year. Another thing falling apart, Syracuse football. Sean Dempsey, what do you have for us?
What happened to Syracuse football down in Blacksburg, Virginia? Find out how the Orange were peeled apart. Sports is coming up after the break.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
What a tumble of a season it has been for Syracuse football. Starting the season 4-0, but the team has now been brought back down to earth by 4 straight ACC opponents. Welcome to sports. I'm Sean Dempsey. Syracuse football took a trip down south to take on Virginia Tech on Thursday, but that trip took a turn for the worse. SU came off a bye week, hoping to turn its season around after an atrocious 41-3 loss to Florida State. That didn't happen. The Orange were taken down 38-10 and finished the game with 0 rushing yards. Yeah, I'm not joking about that. Schrader was sacked a total of 8 times and threw for just under 150 passing yards. Schrader recognized his poor offensive performance and believes the team needs to stick as a unit and keep moving forward. Take a listen.
The biggest thing is just staying together and making sure that we're going out. And offensively, obviously, we're not doing good enough. So we'll just figure it out. And I know there's a lot of things that I messed up today. They kind of put us in a bad spot. So just combine all that stuff. But we'll have to watch it and get back and then be able to figure out and what we need to do moving forward.
The senior and his offense aim to get back on track on Friday at home against Boston College. The Eagles are allowing over 200 yards on the ground per game. It's Parents' Weekend for students at SU, and kickoff for that one is at 7:30. Speaking of BC, though, number 19 Syracuse men's soccer tied Boston College in its last regular season game 1-1 on Friday. SU forward Lorenzo Baselli was the lone goal scorer for the Orange. With the tie, Syracuse now has the most draws in the ACC with 5. The Cuse finished the regular season with a record of 7-3-6 and 2-1-5 in conference play. SU begins ACC tournament play at home on Wednesday against NC State. Game time is set for 6. And switching things over to the hardcourt, Syracuse men's basketball tipped off its first game of the season on Sunday. SU defeated Damon 81-68 in its first exhibition matchup of the year. 2 new faces suited up for Syracuse. Transfers J.J. Starling and Naheem McLeod combined for 18 points and 10 rebounds. Both players helped the Orange get off to a fast start, though. Syracuse shot 60% from the field in the first half and just under 40% from three-point land. The Cuse's next exhibition matchup is in the Dome Wednesday against the College of St. Rose. Tip-off is at 7 for that one. And in the NFL, the Giants and Jets went head-to-head yesterday. The Jets squeaked by the G-Men 13-10 in overtime. More notably, though, Giants backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor was ruled out in the second quarter due to a rib injury. Former SU quarterback Tommy DeVito was forced to step in and make his first NFL appearance. Giants fans hope that starting quarterback Daniel Jones can get back under center next week against the Raiders.
All right, Sean, so how do you think that these teams are going to look in the future?
Well, I think for the Giants, the key is getting Daniel Jones back and getting their starting quarterback back and healthy, because realistically, they should have beaten the Jets because they don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. But now it's really the health of the team that is the major concern for the Giants.
And I mean, I think instead of putting Tommy DeVito out on the field, we should put Tommy DeVito out back on Syracuse team because we all know that Syracuse needs some help, especially going into the weekend. What are your predictions for that game?
I think Syracuse comes out on top just slightly, maybe 30-27, 30-24, sort of a high-scoring game. It's a good bounce-back game at home for Syracuse.
Well, we can only hope that maybe they'll recover. But that's all we have for right now. When we come back, one last look at your weather. Stay with us.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look at your wake-up weather for tomorrow morning. On Halloween, we're going to wake up to about 37 degrees, which is some of the coldest temperatures we have seen so far here in Syracuse so far this year. Overcast and a 25% chance of rain when you do wake up tomorrow, and that could be transitioning into some snow in the morning, as I talked about earlier, but we'll just have to see about that. I'm really hoping that the snow will stay away. How about you guys?
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready to drive in it,
yes,
but
the California girl is not ready for that snow, that's for sure.
Completely agree.
And an upstate New York family won $50,000 for their Halloween display. The family entered ABC's Great Halloween Fright Fight for the season 2 finale. Now hopefully we're gonna have a picture of this. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
It's like pirate ship theme. How are we feeling about pirate pirate for Halloween?
You know, it's a unique choice, but I like it.
Where do you get all these things to like put outside? Like,
Right.
what?
Yeah,
Where do
they
you even
built
order
in
that?
their front yard with animatronics and synchronized pyrotechnics. I can't even know where to begin of where you get all of that, but it looks amazing. I feel like it's probably like a haunted house inside.
Yeah,
maybe?
I wonder how much money
It's
they
kind of
spent
the
on
vibe.
that.
I mean, if I was going trick-or-treating tomorrow, that's where I would want to go.
For sure.
Do you guys have costumes lined up for tomorrow? Are we thinking we're too old for trick-or-treating? What's the deal?
I think I'm going to be Cinderella tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
I have my costume, but you guys will just have to wait and see.
Oh, okay. we love a little tease. Well, that's all the time we have today on News Live at 6.
And don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at CitrusTV News. I'm Peyton Spellacy.
And I'm Maddie Stelk. Have a great evening, Syracuse.